Good morning, YouTube. I'm still at I'm back at Forest Hills Union Cemetery. I made some videos at sunrise, and I'm back to do more videos. And I actually just found out the nice Wright Brothers sugar maple tree. Just planted here only about 5 or 6 years ago, a young one. Very common tree. I was here at sunrise. I decided to come back and do some more videos of this today. And there's a newer section that I did not even know that existed. I just spoke with the lady in the office, but this is 1867, and I believe the cemetery was founded in the late 1860s, so this might have been one of the very first grave sites that are here. So this is really unique cemetery. Charles C. Jelf, Mary C. Jelf, C. Richard Jelf, Bethra Jelf, 1997. So that one's not very old, only about 18 years. So I've really enjoyed, my 1872 Elizabeth, wife of Isaac Mendenhall. That's an older grave site, September 5th, 1872. So I've really enjoyed my trips that I've made up to Piqua here, right here. James T. Paul house right there. So you have some really unique grave sites. Right here, I told the lady in the office about my videos. I told her to search Forest Hills Union Cemetery on YouTube. She's gonna look and show some of these to the superintendent. I think they'll like my videos I've done on this right here. Henry D. Dorman right here. Reynolds. So these are some really old graves, probably some of the oldest in the cemetery. So Florence E. Coster, Carol Coster, Louisa, or Louis Coster, or Louisa Coster, Harmon Coster, Edward Coster. It's drier now because it's later in the morning than it was when I was here earlier. I was here right after 7 a.m. so it was, ground's dried out a little bit. So right here, this still might be, oh, this is a large section with the Coster family. Mother, father, Wilhelmine, so Herman, Frank. So quite a large burial plots they have here. Coster family, Elizabeth and John. Gunther family right here. Geo or Leo Edward Gunther. I think it's Geo, or no, that's General GED. So General Edward Gunther, I believe. Louisa Gunther. Right here, Dial, Jawless Gunther, Lily Gunther. So you have some really pretty grave sites in this cemetery. Hoffman family, Mary Hoffman. Here's a thing with another Hoffman grave, really old right here too. Fortunately, I can't read the print on that one very well, but John Nicholas Hoffman. Think General or Gerhard Hoffman. Sarah, wife of Joseph Wark, died June 13th, 1977, East. So the Wark family, Sarah, right here. I'm assuming her husband is buried here as well. Actually, no, maybe not. Maybe not in this plot, but Adelhoff, M.A. Adelhoff, died 1866. So some of these graves date back to the 1860s. Adelhoff grave right here. So it's a really gorgeous day outside. Beautiful day of summer, not too hot. Just absolutely beautiful. right here. So Anna Coster, and I think I mentioned up there's a large plot of Coster graves right here. William Coster, Elizabeth Coster, and possibly more than that. Oh yeah, so this is Catherine, wife of Lewis Coster. So you have a lot of Costers here, a lot more than I think any other family that I've noticed in here. I'll cover that in a few minutes. But Knoll right here, Lawrence and Catherine Knoll right there. So Frank Coster, Emma Coster, G.E. Coster. So you probably got, I'm going to say, at least 30 Coster graves, possibly more than that. Frank, Herman, Wilhelmine, father. So you got quite a few that are in this cemetery just right here. So there's quite a large amount of Costers. John W. Carpsey. He was only about 2 years old when he died, so he died as a young baby. And Catherine Carpsey, looks like she only lived to be maybe 14 possibly. Geez, this grave might date back to the 1850s. And Frank Carpsey, Edward Carpsey, so they obviously died very young in life. So those are some of the oldest graves, I'm sure, in the entire cemetery. Carr family, Father John right here, Mother Nancy right here, Carr family. Joe family, I've covered some of that already. Henry C. Reynolds, Dorman family, Daniel Lentz, Harriet Lentz, J. Walter, Hattie Mabel. So obviously from the Lentz family. Alsmeyer, Gerhard, his wife, Fanny, Marie F. Hartley, Isaac Patterson, Anna Glick, Landon Glick, Clarence Glick, Charles Rice Glick, Glenn Glick, Harbaugh right here. Not sure if that's any connection to Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh. Their family is from Ohio, further north of here in Toledo. You guys know the famous football coaches. So Anna Sorhoff, John Sorhoff, I'm hoping I pronounced that right, but it don't matter. Alberta Sorhoff, John Sorhoff. Another grave, George Green, right here, died January 28th, 1873. So this has been another fruitful day of videos, you know. Got a few neighborhood videos of historical cemetery as well as back for this and a Lowhead Dam. So I'm getting a good amount of footage today. The cemetery is going to comprise the majority of my footage today. George C. Washington. Got a couple videos of the schools which I've already talked about that in other videos, so I'm not going to rehash that one here. Cox family, Ida Cox, Lydia, wife of John Cox, and John Cox right through here. And here you got a gravesite. I bet I'm going to get to that in a second, but looks like babies that all died very young. Nanny Engel, She lived up around 67 years. Annie Engel, which I assume was her mom, possibly her mom. She lived just under 80 years, or, well, it don't matter. My math is probably a little bit off on that, but Jesse Engel, so that probably would have been Annie's brother right here. J.B. Drake right there. Rival right here. Rose Engel. Ella. Mary Al Honor. Ella family, wife of John Yenny. Stormmeyer Ernest. Rose Charlotte. Catherine Wolfram. George Washington. Clark. So here on the other side, it looks like they're kids, you know. Frank, only 3 years old. It doesn't say when he died or anything. Henry, Carl. So they're with the Stormmeyer family. So they obviously lost some kids very, very young. I'm assuming, yeah, it would be Ernest and Rose were the parents, and then Charlotte, she looks like she might have been the only one that survived of their kids, possibly, that lived into adulthood or saw past 6 years old, because you could see Frank died at 3, Henry at 6, Carl at 4. So Georgie right here, Walter M. Clark, Mabel Clara Clark. I'm really not sure how many more times I'm going to do a Piqua trip this year. I've heard the workers are working down on Wilder right now, getting ready to prepare it to be excavated, and I've heard it could be another 2 or 3 weeks before they get ready to excavate it, or take the excavator to it and tear it down. Conway family, so, because they're still removing stuff like asbestos and other things from there. But Wommeldorf family, Ellen, Philip Wommeldorf, Eliza Wommeldorf, Elizabeth Apgar. This is section 2 of the cemetery when I looked over here. So I'm gonna cover more of this right here. Carl Scharf, Charles Scharf, Lily Scharf, and Lester Alexander, H. Monroe Alexander. It's easy to be deceived from the standpoint of there's actually a second part of the cemetery that you really don't see from here that I was told about. Minnie McGee, Jenny Shipley, John McGee. So I've almost covered this section, so I'm gonna let this one run for a few more minutes, and I'm gonna cover another section of the cemetery. This is right by one of the gates, right across from Veterans Memorial Park. I made a video of that before I came back over here. So Elmira Smith, Mary E. Park. Here we got another. I think this was the same tree. Well, actually, no. This was the same one I filmed, I believe, right at the beginning. I think I filmed that at the beginning of this video. Sugar maple. It looks like another one over here too, but it's not a maple though. Lewis family. Chass. Barnhart family. John Barnhart. Obviously World War II veteran John Barnhart. Hannah Barnhart. Could have been his mother, possibly. Jas M. Card. So this other tree right here, Redmond linden. I'm not sure how common this tree is here, Redmond linden, but it's not as common as the sugar maple or the ash or the red oaks or other ones. Lizzie McGee Sanders, Mary McGee, Charles McGee. There's a headstone for the McGee family. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to cover this all, but I can cover quite a bit of it. Alexander family, right here. Lester, Monroe, Maddie Conway, Ethel Alexander, grandmother Sarah M. Manson. It's not spelled like Charles Manson is, but Mother Jenny Conway, but it's pronounced the same. John Conway, Josephine Wommeldorf, Charles Wommeldorf, Elizabeth Appigar, I believe I covered that a few minutes ago. Eliza Wommeldorf, Philip Wommeldorf, Ellen Wommeldorf, Conway family. I'm going to get ready to wrap this one up because I've covered a good amount of this already. Wilmina Scharf right here, Elizabeth Davies, and I'm going to probably start section 3, or at least the section that's closest to the road right there. There's another tree that looks like it's just been planted in the last 5 or 6 years. As I mentioned the other day, I've seen a couple actual tree stumps in the ground. I've seen a couple tree stump graves, but trees that would indicate that, tree stumps that would have indicated possibly former ash trees. Mount St. Helen plum in memory of Isidore Budd Mana, given by Robin Carolyn Mabbitt. Here's some older graves too, right here. General H. Hartburn, or Hartman, I believe that is, or Hart, or Hartnan, or Habitnan, or it's definitely some unique architecture right here. Really, it's really nice. I believe it's Harthan or Hardhan, I believe. Hardhan. Some of the beautiful trees. This is overlooking the section I covered. That's the office back there at the end of that section. But anyway, YouTube, that's going to be it for this one.